Good evening, my name is Cielo Villanueva, and I am the president for the Weslaco East High School senior class. On behalf of the Weslaco Independent School District Board of Trustees, our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Richard Rivera, Dr. David Gamboa, Weslaco East High School School Principal, and all of Weslaco East High School, I welcome you to the Class 2024 Honors Banquet. Tonight we gather to celebrate not only academic excellence, but also the hard work, dedication, and perseverance that have brought us to the significant milestone in our lives. This evening is a testament in our unwavering commitment of my classmates, the support of our families, and the guidance of our teachers and staff. For the past 4 years, these scholars have dedicated countless hours to their studies, service, and focus of academic achievement to be able to maintain this recognition and celebrate along with their classmates. John Dewey once said, "Arriving at one school is the start of another, and at East, with the assistance of our parents, teachers, and friends, we have reached one goal and will be embarking on yet another that we are hopeful will impact society and make a positive contribution in what we do." On behalf of the class of 2024, we would like to thank you for coming out tonight to celebrate with us in this achievement. With your support, we now get the opportunity to refer ourselves as honor graduates. Ricardo de Alba, National Honor Society Vice President, will now lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
Good evening. Can everyone please stand and join me in the pledge?
What?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God and one and indivisible. Thank you, and please be seated. Michaela Garcia, Senior Class Vice President, and Francis Barca will now introduce our special guests. Thank you.
I am Michaela Garcia, Senior Class Vice President, and I have the honor of introducing some very important guests who have played a role in our education from pre-K to the part where we are currently in our life. I will begin by first recognizing our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Richard Rivera. The School District Board of Trustees that are with us this evening are Jacqueline Sestaita, Board President, Isidoro Nieto, Vice President, Dr. Jaime Rodriguez, Secretary, Jesse Trevino, Trustee, Marcos de los Santos, Trustee, Ben Castillo, Trustee, and Armando Cuellar, Trustee. Central office personnel who day in and day out support all campuses in all aspects of curriculum, instruction, and daily operations include Mr. Abel Aguilar, Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Daniel Budemer, Assistant Superintendent for School Leadership, Mrs. Beatrice Solano, Assistant Superintendent for School Leadership, Ms. Juanita Ibarra Rodriguez, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, David Robedo, Chief Financial Officer, Dr. Cynthia Sid, Director of Student Support Service, Mr. Elias Trevino, Director of Assessment and Accountability, Americo Garza, Executive Director of Maintenance and Operation. Thank you.
Good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? My name is Chris Esparza. I am the National Honor Society President. We also would like to thank the Weslaco East High School staff members who are here tonight. I will first introduce the administrators, followed by counselors and department leaders. We have Dr. Araceli Chavarin, Assistant Principal. Ms. Belen Torres, Assistant Principal. Ms. Samantha de la Garza, Assistant Principal. Ms. Noemi Valdez, Assistant Principal. And Mr. Omar Quintero, Assistant Principal. For our instructional coaches, we have Ms. Ray Valdez, Mr. Homer Colunga, and Mr. Raul Rodriguez. For our counselors, we have Ms. Olga Garza, Head Counselor, Ms. Nancy Ortiz, Counselor, Ms. Ana Ramos, Counselor, and one of the best counselors out there in the world, Ms. Aguirre, Weslaco East 20 College Counselor. I'm going to say a quick thank you, Ms. Aguirre, making these past 4 years a wonderful 4 years, being a great counselor. I appreciate it a lot. Another round of applause for Ms. Aguirre. Mr. Armando Gonzalez, Counselor. Ms. Estrella Medina, Counselor. Ms. Sandra Gonzalez, Counselor. Another wonderful counselor, Ms. Maria Flores, our College and Career Specialist. And our Gear Up facilitators, Ms. Janet Cavazos and Aracelia Garza. Also, another thank you to them because I'm always in their office, so thank you for holding me up and everything. Another round of applause for our amazing counseling group. We would also like to recognize our teachers who throughout our high school experience have given up countless hours to prepare us to be young men and women that we are today. We have Ms. Maria Rios, RLA Department Chair. Mr. Ruben Nevarez, Math Department Chair. Ms. Roxanne Mendoza, Science Department Chair. Mr. Eduardo Medina, Social Studies Department Chair. Ms. Roxanne Rodriguez, Special Education Department Chair. Mr. Horacio Ramirez, Fine Arts Department Chair. Ms. Laura Science, Spanish Department Chair. Ms. Abigail Gonzalez, Department Chair. And Ms. Laura Garcia, Path Department Chair. Thank you. I'll be passing the mic on to Brianna Vera.
Good evening, everyone. I am Brianna Vera, your NHS Secretary, and I'd like to ask you to please bow your heads for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meal we are about to receive and for allowing us all to be here today. With your guiding hand, you have taken us through another school year with many accomplishments and memories, but most importantly, the opportunity to honor you. As we gather here today, we will celebrate how far we have come, the opportunities you have given us, and will continue the journey you have planned for us. May you continue to guide and protect us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Let's give a round of applause to our amazing student leaders. You guys did an amazing job, guys. Before we get started with the program, I do want to take a couple of minutes so you guys can enjoy dinner with your loved ones and families and just go ahead and talk amongst each other for a little bit. I will call out the senior graduates as soon as we get ready to get started. Tonight, we are proud to recognize 139 honor graduates who throughout high school have maintained a grade point average of 90 or above and have achieved academic excellence while attending Weslaco East High School. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. Recognition of our honor graduates has been a time-honored tradition where we celebrate the success of our honor students and we showcase to our parents and community that the hard work and determination does pay off regardless of challenges being faced in the classroom and in our daily lives. Thank you, parents and guardians, for the support you have given us and allowing Weslaco East to establish an educational foundation needed to success in an ever-changing world. We are confident that our amazing staff has taught our students to not only dream, but to do what is needed to reach those dreams. Thank you for selecting Weslaco ISD as a place for a child to attain their education. Tonight, our students will be receiving a golden honor stole, a golden tassel, an honor medallion, and a plaque to highlight their academic achievements. At this time, I would like to invite our campus administration to come to the stage to congratulate our honor students as we recognize them for their achievements. Honor graduates will be announced in 3 groups. The first group of honor graduates will be our cum laude and will be read alphabetically. The second group of honor graduates will consist of our magna cum laude and finally our summa cum laude. We will finish with a top 25 and will be read in reverse order, beginning from 25 and ending with our number 1, the valedictorian. Parents and honor guests, we would like to recognize you along with your honor graduate. So when your honor graduate's name is called, we ask you to please stand so we can recognize you as well. Padres de familia, ustedes estarán presentados cuando presentemos a sus hijos y sus graduados de honor. Por favor, pónganse de pie cuando anunciemos el nombre de sus estudiantes para reconocerlos a ustedes también. Ms. Belén Torres will now present the honor graduates for the class of 2024. Again, a round of applause to our honor graduates.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Honored graduate Valeria Aguayo Ramon. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Doroteo and Veronica Aguayo. She will be attending South Texas College. She is a cum laude honor graduate. Honor graduate Nayeli Barrera. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Araceli Barrera. She will be attending the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. She is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate David Barrientos III. He is accompanied by Mrs. Adriana Rodriguez. He will be attending UTRGV. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Melanie Michelle Cabrera. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Oscar and Santa Cabrera. She will be attending UTRGV. She is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Joseph Campos. He is accompanied by Ms. Veronica Campos. He will be attending UTSA. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Lily Mae Samantha Carrillo. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Benito and Sylvia Carrillo. She will be attending Texas State University. She's a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Quentin Damian Castro. He is accompanied by Mr. Castro and Mrs. Castro. He will be attending South Texas College. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Josue Ruben Cázares. He is accompanied by Ms. Maria de la Cruz and Mr. Julio Cesar. He will be attending the Police Academy. He is an STC Associate of Arts candidate. He will be receiving in criminal justice. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Kibler Itzer Coronado. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Sergio and Lizette Coronado. He will be attending UTRGV. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Emiliano Duran. He is accompanied by Ms. Yesenia Duran and Mr. Enafael Duran. He will be attending Sam Houston State University. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Isaac Escalon. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Escalon. He will be attending South Texas College. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Osiel Escobedo. He is accompanied by Francisco Escobedo Martinez and Maria Ninfa Moncayo. He will be attending South Texas College. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Rachel Gabrielle Fraide. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Frankie and Ellie Fraide. She will be attending STC and she is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Osvaldo Adolfo Garza. He is accompanied by Ms. Leti Lerma. He will be attending UTRGV. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Juan Manuel Gomez. He is accompanied by Juan Manuel and Yesenia Rodriguez. He will be attending UTSA and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Daniel Agustin Gonzalez. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez. He will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. He is an STC Associates of Art candidate in criminal justice. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Sarah Jasmine Gonzalez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Constantino and Sarah Gonzalez. She will be attending South Texas College, and she is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Brandy Bernice Guerrero. She is accompanied by Mr. Primitivo and Mrs. Mariela Guerrero. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Vivian Ailey Lara. She is accompanied by Miss Laura Tovar, her sister, Miss Giselle Lara. She will be attending STC. She is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Alex Martinez. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Daniel and Felicitas Martinez. He will be attending STC and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Marcus Martinez. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Martinez and Nancy Coronado. He will be attending UTRGV and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Karen Mayorga. She is accompanied by Mr. Miguel Mayorga and Mrs. Yesenia Guerra. She will be attending UTRGV and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Michael Tadeo Mejia. He is accompanied by Ms. Lorena Hatchen. He will be attending the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Margarito Dwayne Molina. He is accompanied by Mr. Robert E. Molina and Ms. Monica Medrano. He will be attending the University of Incarnate Word. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Bailey Marie Peña. She is accompanied by Mr. Jose Peña and Don Villarreal. She will be attending UTSA and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Giovanni Perales. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Juan Carlos and Maria Perales. They will be attending STC Technical State College and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Elvira Perez. She is accompanied by Elvira Garcia. She will be attending South Texas College and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Coral Estefania Quiroga Salinas. She is accompanied by Mr. Jose and Zulema Quiroga. She will be attending South Texas College and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Regino Riojas Jr. He is accompanied by Regino Riojas. He will be attending UTRGV and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Emily Nicole Rivera. She is accompanied by Mr. Jose Rivera. She will be attending Texas State University and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Yumeli Suhey Rivera. She is accompanied by Mr. Enrique Rivera and Liliana Sarmiento. She will be attending STC. She is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Leilani Rodriguez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Valentin and Juliana Rodriguez. She will be attending South Texas College. She is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Kimberly Ruiz. She is accompanied by Mr. Osmar Ruiz and Mrs. Myra Marin. She will be attending the University of Rio Grande Valley. She is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Gregory Emir Santana. He is accompanied by Xochitl Estrada and Gerardo Santana. He will be attending UTRGV. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Angela Torres. She is accompanied by Ms. Griselda Rodriguez. She will be attending Texas A&M Kingsville and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Adrian Orlando Valdez. He is accompanied by Griselda Hernandez. He will be attending Texas A&M University. He is an STC Associates of Applied Science candidate in precision manufacturing. He is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Trista Valdez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Juan and Virginia Valdez. She will be attending South Texas College and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Daphne Valero. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Dominica Valero. She will be attending the University of Rio Grande Valley and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Mario Alberto Villafranca. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Villafranca. He will be attending STC and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Julian Zavala. He is accompanied by Mr. Javier Zavala and Mrs. Orfa Aguilar. He will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley and is a cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Ariel Alyssa Alanis. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jason and Betha Alanis. She will be attending Texas A&M University and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Axel Gael Cantu. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Cantu. He will be attending UTRGV and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Tadeo Cantu. He is accompanied by Mrs. Maria Cantu. He will be attending UTRGV and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Charlene Chavez. She is accompanied by Mr. Jesus Chavez and Mrs. Jessica Coronado. She will be attending UTRGV and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Angel Mario Covarrubias. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Manuel and Victoria Covarrubias. He will be attending Texas State University. He is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Samuel Covarrubias. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Hector and Olga Covarrubias. He will be attending UTRGV and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Isaiah Ines Espinosa. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Greg Villegas. He will be attending Texas State University. He is an STC Associates of Arts candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. He is also a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Kiana Ray Flores Saldana. She is accompanied by Samantha Saldana and Olga Vasquez. She will be attending South Texas College and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Alexandra Garcia. She is accompanied by Mrs. Aracelia Garcia. She is attending STC for 2 years and UTRGV for 2 years. She is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Anthony Joel Garcia. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Garcia. He will be attending the University of Texas at San Antonio and is an STC Associates of Arts candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. He is also a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Juan Antonio Garcia. He is accompanied by Juan and Dalia Garcia. He will be attending the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Brindy Astrid Guerra Garcia. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jesus and Marisa Guerra. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Natalia Hernandez. She is accompanied by Mr. Jesus Hernandez and Ms. Alma Hernandez. She will be attending the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley and is an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. She is also a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Marco Antonio Herrera. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Marco Antonio and Dora Herrera. He will be attending Texas A&M Kingsville and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Ronaldo Longitud. He is accompanied by Israel Longitud and Brenda Sanchez. He will be attending Texas State University and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Paris Elise Lopez. She is accompanied by Mr. Eliseo Lopez and Mrs. Elizabeth Segura. She will be attending UTRGV and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Melina Alina Macias. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Mario and Cindy Macias. She will be attending South Texas College and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Diego Damian Maciel. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Israel and Victoria Maciel. He will be attending UTSA and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Zayden Shea Montes. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Rocky and Lisa Montes. He will be attending the University of Texas at San Antonio and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Adrienne Rose Munoz. She is accompanied by Ms. Nayli Ibarra and Mr. Adrian Munoz. Ms. Marcina Gonzalez. She will be attending the UTRGV for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and she is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Yadira Renee Noriega. She is accompanied by Ms. Rosalinda Gutierrez. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Daisy Yamilet Nunez. She is accompanied by Ezequiel and Laura Nunez. She will be attending the University of Texas at San Antonio and is an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. She is also a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Roel Alejandro Ordóñez Saurina. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Armando and Estela Saurina. He will be attending the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Juan Rodrigo Oviedo Perez. He is accompanied by Ms. Maria Perez. He will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Michaela Lea Perales. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Perales. She will be attending South Texas College and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Marisa Joy Perez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Carlos and Hope Perez. She is attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Jediah Chavarin Rivens. He is accompanied by Dr. Araceli Chavarin and Mr. Joaquin Chavarin. He will be attending Texas State and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Aisa Juliet Rodriguez. She is accompanied by Mr. Miguel Rodriguez and Mrs. Marta Rodriguez. She will be attending the University of Texas at San Antonio and is an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. She is also a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Lauren Nicole Rodriguez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Leroy Rodriguez and Roxanne Rodriguez. She will be attending the University of Texas at Arlington. She is also a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Melanie Rodriguez. She is accompanied by Ms. Aida Ibarra and Mr. Jose Salazar. She will be attending South Texas College. She is also a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Aaron Joaquin Sanchez. He is accompanied by Mr. Jesse Sanchez and Ms. Rachel Sanchez. He will be attending UTSA and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Mia Maricela Silva. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Juan and Maricela Silva. She will be attending the University of Texas at San Antonio and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Eric Armando Tamez. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Juan and Nancy Tamez. He will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Deliana Desiree Valadez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Epigenio and Liliana Valdez. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Angela Jeanette Villalobos. She is accompanied by Ms. Daisy Lopez. She will be attending the University of Texas A&M at College Station. She is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Cielo Marie Villanueva. She is accompanied by Ms. Jessica Rodriguez. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a magna cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Bo Michael Burgett. He is accompanied by Michael Burgett and Ms. Rebecca Burgett. He will be attending the University of Texas at San Antonio and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate, Monica Paulina Carrizales. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Carlos and Monica Carrizales. She will be attending South Texas College, the Mid-Valley campus, and she is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Alberto Aniceto Colunga. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Albert and Griselda Colunga. He will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. He is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and a summa cum laude graduate.
Please over the thing is.
Honor graduate Elivet Curiel. She is accompanied by Mr. Martin Leal and Mrs. Maria Espinosa. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. She is also an STC Associate of Arts candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Ricardo de Alba. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Ricardo and Elvia de Alba. He is attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is an STC Associates of Art candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Brian de Luna. He is accompanied by Arturo de Luna and Maria de Luna. He will be enlisting in the United States Marine Corps and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Krantz Mueller Esparza Jr. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Krantz and Alma Esparza. He will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. He is also a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Mia Jane Ferrer. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Mario and Jessica Ferrer. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Andrea Garcia. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Francisco Endora Garcia. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Madeline K. Garcia. She is accompanied by Doreen Maldonado. She will be attending the University of Houston. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Biology and a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Carlos Eleazar Gonzalez. He is accompanied by Mr. Homero and Claudia Gonzalez. He will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Andrea Isabel Luna. She is accompanied by Mr. Miguel and Miss Maria Luna. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies, and she is also a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Carlos Alberto Marin Jr. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Carlos and Adriana Marin. He will be attending the University of Texas in San Antonio and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Jamie Lynn Pequeño. She is accompanied by her sister Destiny Pequeño. She will be attending STC and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Leslie Daniela Quintero. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Omar and Ana Quintero. She will be attending Texas A&M University in San Antonio, and she is an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. She is also a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Nancy Montserrat Rosales. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Karimina and Miguel Rosales. She will be attending Texas A&M Kingsville and she is also a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Lindsay Salinas. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jorge and Neva Salinas, as she will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Abdiel Segoviano Leos. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Ángel and Laura Segoviano. He will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a summa cum laude graduate. Honor graduate Ashanti Brion Williams. She is accompanied by Mr. Marcus Williams and Mrs. Vanessa Rodriguez. She will be attending Texas Lutheran University. She is also an STC Associate of Arts candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. She is also a summa cum laude graduate.
Top 10.
Ranked number 24, honor graduate Pedro Damian Guerrero. He is accompanied by Ms. Brenda Galaviz and Ms. Evelyn Guerrero. He will be attending Seventh Careers Institute and is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 23, honor graduate Aaron Rosales. He is accompanied by Enedina Davalos and Abel Rosales. He will be attending the University of Texas at Austin, and he is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 22, honor graduate Stephanie Genesis Rizzo. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Maria Rizzo. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 21, honor graduate William Cameron Cromer. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Chris and Sylvia Cromer. He will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. He is also an STC Associates of Arts candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 20, graduate Yvonne Yamile Cavazos. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. David and Maria Cavazos. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 19, Brandy Michelle Quiroga. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Victor and Gabriela Quiroga. She will be attending Texas A&M Kingsville. She is also an STC Associates of Applied Science candidate in Precision Manufacturing. She is also a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 18, honor graduate Roman Jimenez. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Cavi and Gloria Jimenez. He will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 17, honor graduate Valeria Lopez Adame. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Ron and Maria Lopez. She will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 16, honor graduate Eric Axel Zamora. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Sandra Zamora. He will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. He is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Engineering and a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 15, Marie Ryan Varela. She's accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Javier and Samantha Trevino. She will be attending Texas Christian University. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Biology and a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 14, honor graduate Abigail Renee Delgado. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Reynaldo Delgado and Eunice Delgado. She will be attending Houston Christian University. Ranked number 13, honor graduate Giselle Guerra. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jaime and Maribel Guerra. She will be attending the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley, and she is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 12, honor graduate Kaylee Nicole Solis. She is accompanied by Mr. Solis. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is a summa cum laude graduate. What? Oh. Before we begin with our top 10, we have one more graduate. Honor graduate Ashley Yaretsi Vasquez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jesus and Yadira Vasquez. She will be attending TSTC, and she is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 10, honor graduate Brianna Nicole Vera. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Norma Vera. She will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 9, honor graduate Saraí Cabrales. She is accompanied by Mr. Jose Tomas and Mrs. Maria de Jesus Garcia Cabrales. She will be attending the University of Texas at Austin, and she is an STC Associate of Science candidate in Biology and a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 8, Tanya Paola Jorge Cano. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jorge Cano. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies and a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 7, Carmen Ashlyn Perez. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Nadine Perez. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 6, honor graduate Isla Trevino. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Francisco and Ariana Trevino. She will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Biology. She is also a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 5, honor graduate Haley Danielle Solis. She is accompanied by Mr. Daniel Solis and Mrs. Patricia Cardosa. She will be attending the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. She is a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 4, honor graduate Michaela Elizabeth Garcia. She is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Lubin and Elisa Garcia. She will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Biology and a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 3, honor graduate Gerardo Lira Jr. He is accompanied by Mrs. Melissa Mata and Mr. Bernardo Mata. He will be attending the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and he is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in Interdisciplinary Studies. He is also a summa cum laude graduate. Ranked number 2, and Weslaco East High School's salutatorian for the 23-24 school year, honor graduate Ashley Solis. She is accompanied by Mrs. and Mr. Adrian Celis and Mrs. Veronica Bocanegra. She will be attending TCU. She is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in biology and a summa cum laude graduate. Would you please honor our student ranked number 2 and our salutatorian?
Let's equal parents are doing. Okay.
Ranked number 1 at Weslaco East High School's valedictorian for the 2023-2024 school year, honor graduate Rogelio Miguel Alanis. He is accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Rogelio and Harima Alanis. He will be attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. He is also an STC Associate of Science candidate in biology. He is also a summa cum laude graduate. Would you please stand and honor our valedictorian for this school year? Thank you, parents, families, friends, and teachers, for the support you have shown each of these honor graduates. Thank you, board members and central office staff, for joining us this evening. This concludes our honor banquet. Have a great evening and take as many photos as you can.